big news of the day was someone from what? ESPN floating the idea that the 49ers should trade Jimmy Garoppolo for Baker Mayfield. There are some arguments. I can understand why he suggested it. I mean, both teams are trying to unload those quarterbacks, and there's no market for either. So why not for each other? What do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting because rumors, since we kind of came up with the topics for the show, rumors are that Baker may end up in Seattle. And Seattle is still interested in Baker and possibly willing to extend him, which, as a Niner fan, make that happen, please. I would love to face Baker as much as possible. But as far as Jimmy for Baker goes, yeah, on the surface, it makes sense. You've got two teams that are looking to get rid of their guy. You bring in Jimmy Garoppolo for Cleveland. I mean, that's really the perfect fit. We're going to talk about it a little bit later, but that's one of the better rosters in the league. It absolutely is. They have plenty of money to take on the salary, the extra salary, and they get rid of Baker and dump his salary. So it makes a lot of sense for Cleveland. For the 49ers, to me, where it makes sense is you're getting rid of Jimmy from the locker room. So you're not going to have that issue. Trey Lance is the clear starter. Baker, as we know, is not winning anybody over, especially in a single year with the 49ers. So you don't have to worry about that. But to me, why would you spend, $18 million for Baker when you can save that money, roll it over to next year and essentially double it up? I think if you get rid of Garoppolo and take on any sort of salary cap and don't improve your starting roster, not worth it to me.
I just feel like I kind of hope the Niners do this so I can say oh, you would rather spend $19 million on a backup for Trey Lance than for protection for Trey Lance. Like, you didn't want to sign the center or Laken Tomlinson. You wanted to bring in Baker Mayfield at the last minute. It seems too easy to poke holes in that plan. I don't think it works. Although at this point, it might be the best use of the money that they could, the Jimmy Garoppolo money. But I don't think they can justify. Also, what kind of message does that send? Not only to your fan base, but to your locker room about your confidence in Trey Lance. Yeah, we really believe in him, but here's Baker Mayfield. I mean, it's a different circus. It's not, and it's he's a different. I mean, yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo needs to go, but Baker Mayfield is way different than Jimmy, right? He would not be cool being the backup, and he's kind of he sees himself as a superstar, as a crossover, a guy who's a really good actor and in commercials and stuff. He's not taking a backseat to Trey Lance. It just seems like it would be a bad fit.
Yeah, I mean, I think personality-wise, it wouldn't be the best fit, but I also think for as much as we look at Jimmy Garoppolo and say, hey, great teammate, a guy you want in your locker room, leader, yada, 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 at the same time, that's when he's the starter. If you're the leader of a team and all of a sudden you have to take a backup role to a team that you believe you've led to a Super Bowl and an NFC championship, I think that's a little awkward. I think that, to me, that's more of a slap in the face and could cause more rifts than even bringing Baker in. That's just my personal opinion.
Fair. I think I would rather just create the cap space and roll it over to next year. I mean, as nice as it would be to have because the Niners don't have a backup quarterback right now. They have Trey Lance and a couple of third stringers. If we're being, I mean, no one would. If both Brock Purdy and Nate Sudfeld were on the practice squad, all the other teams would be like, you can keep him. So that's what the Niners are at. Maybe they know better, but no one wants those quarterbacks. It'd be nice to have a backup quarterback who's a starting caliber, who's the first pick in the draft and is still in his mid-20s. I just don't see it happening.
I also don't understand. I mean, to me, backup quarterback is in San Francisco, because of the injuries to Jimmy Garoppolo, fans love their backup quarterback. You got to have a good backup. I don't care about the backup. I really don't care about the backup quarterback. If you're going to have your starter go down for an extended period of time, I don't care who the backup is. You're not really going to win a lot of games anyways. For me, get rid of it, save that salary, roll it over to next year, and then go crazy next year in free agency. That's what I would do.